All right, let's dive in. We're going to demystify the world of product management software. You know how it is. It can feel like a total jungle of apps out there. But by the end of this, you're going to have a clear map to navigate it all and, hopefully, find the perfect tools for your team.
I mean, come on, this has to sound familiar, right? Your team's juggling, what, 5 different apps? And somehow, you're still miscommunicating. Information is just scattered everywhere. Emails, chat threads, a dozen different docs. Context gets lost, wires get crossed, and productivity just plummets. This isn't just an annoyance, you know. This kind of tool overload is a silent killer of great products.
But here's the good news. It really doesn't have to be this way. The key isn't throwing more tools at the problem. It's about finding the right tools and getting them to work together. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build your perfect product stack by focusing on the core jobs to be done, basically the essential tasks your team needs to nail. This whole framework is designed to help you move from that chaos to clarity, so you can focus on what really matters, building products your users absolutely love.
Okay, so let's start with the absolute foundation, tracking the work. Think of this as your map and compass. It's your single source of truth for who is doing what and by when. Seriously, if you get this right, everything else just gets so much easier. Now, in the world of work tracking, there are 2 tools that really stand out, Jira and Linear. And they couldn't be more different. They represent 2 totally different philosophies. On one side, you've got this endlessly customizable powerhouse. And on the other, you have a sleek, super fast, opinionated speedster.
So let's start with the giant in the room, Jira. I mean, it's the industry standard for a reason, right? We're talking over 300,000 companies use it. It has these incredibly powerful boards, really detailed timelines for handling complex dependencies, and a massive ecosystem of over 6,000 apps. What that really means is you can basically bend Jira to your will. You can tailor it to your exact needs, no matter how complex your workflow gets. And then you've got Linear. Linear is built with a really strong point of view. It's kind of obsessed with speed and the developer experience. So you get these features like a dedicated triage inbox, super clear issue relations, and tight GitHub automation. And they're all designed for one thing, to eliminate friction. The whole point is you spend less time managing your tools and more time actually building your product.
So what's the bottom line here? The best choice isn't about which tool has more features. Not at all. It's about which tool matches your team's culture. You have to ask yourselves, do we need a system that can adapt to any process, even if it takes a bit more setup? If yes, that's Jira. Or is your mantra speed is a feature and you just want a tool that gets out of your way? Well, that's Linear. Okay, so now that our work is neatly tracked, we can move on to the next big job, centralizing knowledge. Your map is pretty useless without a shared travel log, right? We need a home for all the project briefs, the research findings, the big strategic decisions. Basically, a single, reliable brain for the whole team. And in this space, the main event is Confluence versus Notion. And this is a classic choice. It really boils down to structure versus flexibility. Do you want a dedicated, purpose-built library just for your company's knowledge? Or do you want a super flexible, all-in-one workspace where your knowledge and your work can live side by side? Confluence, of course, is Atlassian's answer here, and its biggest superpower is that seamless native integration with Jira. It's designed from the ground up to be that single source of truth. It's got really robust security and permissions, which gives you complete control over who sees what. And that becomes absolutely critical as your organization starts to scale. Notion, on the other hand, is like the ultimate flexible workspace. It's not just a wiki. I mean, it can be your task manager, your CRM, your product roadmap, all in one. For a lot of teams, especially startups, this is huge. It means you can consolidate a bunch of different tools and create this single unified operating system for the entire company. And this is why this whole job matters so much. Whether you go with the structure of Confluence or the flexibility of Notion, what you're doing is building a powerful, shared asset. You're literally turning scattered docs and random notes into a searchable, reliable brain for your team. And what does that mean? Less time hunting for information, and more time making really solid, informed decisions. All right, so our work is tracked, our knowledge is centralized. Now we get to turn to maybe the most exciting job of all, the creative spark. Before you can map the journey, you gotta dream up the destination. This is all about visualizing ideas, brainstorming together, and setting the strategy right at the very beginning. And for this job, we turn to Miro. The easiest way to think about it is like an infinite digital whiteboard where your entire team can come together no matter where they are in the world.
It's a space that's designed for both those high-energy, real-time workshops and for more thoughtful asynchronous collaboration. It's all about transforming chaotic brainstorming into actual, actionable plans.
You know, the real beauty of Miro is how it helps you unleash creativity, but in a structured way. You're not just starting from a blank slate. You can grab one of over 2,500 templates for pretty much anything, from a user journey map to a full-on PI planning session. You just invite your team, and everyone can jump in and contribute at once. And get this, when you're done, Miro's AI can instantly take hundreds of those digital sticky notes and synthesize them into clear themes and summaries. It's an amazing way to bridge that gap from idea to insight.
And the impact of this visual, collaborative approach, it can be absolutely transformative. I mean, this quote from PepsiCo really says it all. Shortening a 3-year development cycle down to just 10 months? That is the kind of incredible acceleration that happens when you give a brilliant team a dedicated space to think visually and build together. Okay, so we've looked at the best-in-class tools for each of these jobs. But the real magic, the thing that separates the good teams from the great ones, it isn't found in any single tool. It's in the connections. The magic happens when your tools talk to each other, creating a truly integrated workspace where information just flows seamlessly. I mean, just picture this. Your team finishes an awesome brainstorming session in Miro. With just a few clicks, you convert those brilliant ideas directly into user stories in Jira or Linear. Then, that project status automatically syncs to a high-level roadmap you've got in Notion. Suddenly, your stakeholders have perfect visibility without ever having to ping you for an update. This is how you eliminate all that tedious manual work and keep everyone effortlessly in sync. All right, so we've covered the core jobs to be done for any product team, from tracking all the way to brainstorming. Now, let's bring it all together. It's time to build your perfect stack by choosing the right tool for the job. So, here's your cheat sheet. For agile work tracking, you're choosing between the raw power of Jira or the focused speed of Linear. For your team's knowledge base, you're deciding between the structured wiki of Confluence or the all-in-one flexibility of Notion. For anything visual, brainstorming, strategy, Miro is your go-to canvas. And hey, if you're a small, nimble team, don't forget that Notion can often be your entire operating system all in one. At the end of the day, the tools you choose, they're not just software. They actually shape how your team communicates, collaborates, and creates. In a way, they set the ceiling for what's possible. So the real question isn't just which apps should we buy. It's about ambition. Your toolkit defines your team's potential. So, what will you build with yours?